Hey guys, tonight we're going on a whirlwind journey through the winding cobblestone paths of medieval beauty standards. Imagine this. You're tucked in with a cozy blanket wrapped around you like a personal cloud. Your room lit only by the soft glow of fairy lights. Maybe you've got a sleepy dog curled up at your feet, dreaming of a time when squirrel chasing was an Olympic sport. It's the kind of night where time feels like it's taken a back seat, and the hum of your fridge somehow creates the perfect background tune. You probably won't survive this. You're going to want to stay awake to soak in every dreamy detail. But if you nod off, we'll forgive you. Before you get too comfy, feel free to tap, like, or subscribe. But only if you're genuinely enjoying the calm around here. Tell me where you're listening from and what time it is over there. I love seeing how far this sleepy little journey reaches. Now, go ahead and lower the lights. Maybe let a fan hum in the background, and let's drift gently into tonight's story together. You wake up in a medieval castle where the world is waking up in hues of dawn, and you can hear the gentle rustle of fabric as maids scuttle about, preparing the day. The air is filled with the earthy scent of stone and wood, seeping into your senses like a soft lullaby. Back in medieval times, the definition of beauty was as interconnected with status as it is today, but with a pinch more mystery. Fair skin was the medieval version of owning a blue check mark on social media. It authenticated you as part of the elite. This desire for pale skin was fueled by the association of fair complexions with nobility and a life unburdened by outdoor labor. You picture yourself armed with a parasol or a hooded veil, because sun-kissed was definitely not the trend then. Historians still argue over the extent to which these beauty standards influenced everyday life, like whether they were just noble whims or if even the peasants aspired to them. But here's the wild part. Medieval folks went to pretty extreme measures to stay pale. Except instead of SPF lotions popping up in their notifications, they might have relied on vinegar washes or even lead-based concoctions. No wonder some folks developed questionable nocturnal habits, sort of the medieval edition of avoiding direct messages, but also a little more life-threatening. Imagine strolling through the castle gardens, the grass gently tickling your toes, only to run into a young maiden enwrapped in her own little ritual, the delicate art of plucking hairlines. This was no ordinary grooming exercise. Women plucked along their hairlines to widen their foreheads, an admired trait, and yes, something you'd likely scroll past on TikTok today with a resounding, "Wait, what?" This left ample space for dramatic headpieces, as the hair took a minor step back, literally, so foreheads could steal the show. Would eyebrows rally against this trend, you wonder? Some were even shaved off entirely, leaving faces as quizzical as your iced coffee order when it arrives completely wrong. And here's a quirky tidbit for you. During these times, a prominent forehead was kind of like a medieval shout-out to high fashion. You can almost imagine the giggles as fashionistas of the day compared this to their neighbors, taking stock of whose forehead seemed more sweeping, hoping it caught the side eye of some passing noble. It's funny to think of how it mirrors today's life moments, like setting 5 alarms before dutifully ignoring them all, just to show you might care a bit, but, not really. Picture the vibe of a grand feast, where beauty standards were showcased alongside gastronomical delights, as the elite gathered not only to eat, but to present themselves. This was less a restaurant and more a runway, where you definitely needed some poise to pull off the swirling sleeves and those highly desired pale faces illuminated by flickering candlelight. Speak about food for thought. These meals were posh productions, almost like watching the latest viral dance challenge unfold before your eyes, every step choreographed to show off the best display of what was in. So next time you scroll through Reels, remember this bit from the past. Medieval society was buzzing with its own viral crazes, and honestly, beauty, the silent, shimmering kind, was always in the background, echoing through frost-tipped windows like a whisper on a windy night. Beauty was a social feast meant for lingering glances, like how you might keep Twitter open on one of your 27 tabs just to feel connected, even if only virtually. You wander a bit further, letting the imaginary chill of a medieval hallway tickle your spine, and you stumble upon another beauty favorite, alabaster skin. This obsession manifested in ways quite different from your three-step skincare routine. Pale was more than a color. It was an emblem of one's social station, broadcasting how little time you spent toiling under the sun. They wielded cosmetics, some more unpleasant than others, dabbling in powdery concoctions, often laced with hazardous ingredients. There were stories, half whispers in candlelit corridors, of lead ceruse used to achieve that hauntingly perfect complexion. It makes you wonder how history might have unfolded if they had online tutorials warning about bad product choices, much like the many unboxing videos you find yourself sucked into these days. The medieval beauty journey didn't stop at skin. They valued symmetrical features, which they hypothesized made a person more akin to divine or celestial beings. It's a little like getting your photo taken at exactly the right angle and daydreaming that your face might just break the internet. They cherish these features, despite the considerable effort required to uphold such ideals, reminding you of the lengths you sometimes go to, like splurging on a chai despite having a stocked coffee shelf at home. And speaking of quirks, enters the age of the high forehead. You probably won't believe this, but forehead plucking became an art form. Those wide swathes of biosimulant blankness were the era's statement, bob haircut, showing off a woman's intelligence and venerable bearing. You might picture your Tinder pics, where you try not to overdo it with filters, and laugh. But yes, forehead grooming was very much a thing. It even led to laws. Yes, actual rules indicating the status and measure of beauty. Historians still argue whether these beauty standards dictated personal routines, or if medieval folks merely floated among accepted norms, much like a meme sparking brief but fiery debate. Now, if you can imagine, amidst all this light and beauty, those medieval times weren't just a grayscale affair. There were whispers of makeup touched upon the lips, and not just any shade. A fanciful coral was the sought-after aesthetic. Imagine a sumptuous feast, the kind of gathering you'd think of as the balance between a gala and a pleasant social event, where if you were lucky and wealthy enough, you rocked coral-stained lips to stun the venue. The shade came from natural ingredients, pushing the envelope like the time you went to a restaurant just to order the craziest thing on the menu, and pray it dished out more delightful surprises than regrets. It makes you chuckle. A medieval TikTok would probably have people attempting to replicate those lip stains with a how-to approach. The technique was sophisticated, and walking into one of these gatherings felt like being wrapped in layered tapestries and experiencing ephemeral fragrances drifting through the air. You'd barely pick up on it, then crash into a chic noble offering their enigmatic stained smile. The sensory experience, much like trying a gourmet meal delivery service, wasn't just about flavor, but also about soft ambience and atmospheric notes of poshness. As you take in these snapshots of medieval beauty, it dawns on you how much has changed, yet similarities resonate in equal measures. It's like peeking at an alternate universe where everyone lives without Wi-Fi drama, yet somehow everyone faces tensions about looking just right in every painted scene. You smile quietly to yourself, realizing how little some things have changed while innovation and arched politics continue to swirl. You tread carefully through this world, ruled less by logic than enchantment, embracing each vivid, magnetic chapter like a deep breath of fresh air. Wandering these stone halls and flickering candlelit rooms, you sense the weight and whimsy of beauty standards echoing through history, offering both skepticism and serenity, and a reminder to let yourself glow. Whether bathed under bright, sunlit filters or wrapped in the soft hush of a medieval night, venturing on further into this medieval landscape, your attention is drawn to the bustling marketplace, where the chatter of vendors and customers creates a symphony of its own. Here, beauty standards weren't just whispered secrets between castle walls. They were on proud display, inspected and embraced by all levels of society. Imagine the hustle and bustle of the latest beauty launch. And by that, I mean the introduction of a new shade of rouge. It was the medieval equivalent of waiting for an email alert on your favorite brand's latest drop. Back then, cheeks weren't pinched for blush. They were meticulously painted with subtle, or sometimes not so subtle, red hues made from everything from plants to those mercurial minerals. Yet, here's the kicker. Despite the colors painting their faces, the question remains whether these applications were purely aesthetic or if they worked as social signals. A bit like how we selectively choose to reply LOL without physically laughing. It's a debate as eternal as whether to binge the next episode or actually get some rest. Historians still aren't sure if the early adopters of makeup were trendsetters or rebels against the norm. Moving through the market, you catch the sight and sound of women adorned not just with hair, but with creative headgear meant to magnify their beauty. Elaborate braids act as both a functional and decorative statement. Beads, ribbons, and occasionally even flowers are woven into luscious locks in patterns that are almost mesmerizing. It's akin to scrolling through Pinterest at 3 a.m. for inspiration, hoping to replicate those dazzling hairstyles that seem effortlessly thrown together yet intricately perfect. Imagine medieval hairstylists seated on joint stools, fastidiously weaving not just styles, but societal stories into each twist and turn of a braid. Like you're meandering through a gallery exhibit focused on the elegance of hair, the process unfolds like an ancient reel of time. You can almost hear the gentle commentary from a hairstylist providing tips on how best to preserve your dew when the wind decides it wants to be an uninvited guest at your personal showcase. Here's a quirky tidbit for you. Some of these accessories weren't just for decoration. They were subtle indicators of a woman's marital status, wealth, or even her standing within a noble household. You could say it was a portable Instagram bio, offering a layered peek into one's world without uttering a single word. The amusing part? Historians find these hairpieces almost poetic, capturing fleeting moments of aspiration and adorned beauty, preserved through paintings and scribes. It brings up an amusing thought. If selfies were a thing back then, perhaps we'd have been treated to a medieval day-in-the-life content piece, complete with women flaunting their freshest hair designs and all. Still, the intrigue doesn't end here. Wander further through these archives of historical chic, and you'll encounter our medieval beauty influencers, those who set the trends and showcased how innovative and sometimes bizarre fashion could become. Enter the codpiece, a true emblem of its era, serving purposes that have puzzled many an academic. These curious garments boasted not just a sense of modesty, but a peculiar form of masculinity and status. Much like today's unpredictable viral fashion trends, the reasoning behind their emergence ranged from the practical to the theatrical. Historians continue to debate whether the codpiece was primarily a display of bravado, or if it served pragmatic functions in certain contexts. Could it have sparked the interest of medieval fashion critics with its audacity and flair? Definitely. I mean, maybe not quite what you'd expect to see in your next Amazon shopping cart, but it was certainly bold, much like those kitchen gadgets you purchased to use exactly one time. You've trodden through markets, vanity, and all sorts of vivid medieval marvels, and the night gently descends once more. As the day slowly fades, a question dances through your mind. Could it really be that past and present beauty standards have more in common than at first glance? It's a curious thought to ponder as you cozy up even more into your blanket's embrace, letting those questions spill softly into the night, like rhythms from an age-old lullaby soothing you toward rest. In the dimming light of our medieval wonderland, the flickering torches cast playful shadows across castle walls, and you feel the weight of the day's tales settling around you like a favorite hoodie. The stories of medieval beauty standards, curious concoctions, and bold fashion choices still hum in the air. It's a bit like when you're half focused on a late-night YouTube rabbit hole and realize you've been absorbed by 18th century shipbuilding techniques. You glance around at the quietude and are reminded that history has a way of serenading us with its quirks and conundrums. As you drift towards the inner chambers of the castle, your mind flickers to the legendary decluttering of medieval cosmetics. Oh, the intriguing world of past potions, where a skincare routine could involve delightful or dangerously droll ingredients like crushed beetles or soot. The idea was to enhance natural beauty, perhaps similar in spirit to today's promise-laden serums lining your bathroom counter. The question remains, did these potions blend for a rainbow's worth of allure, or were they the skincare equivalent of setting 5 elaborate alarms and then snoozing them all? Historians still debate the exact content of these beauty regimes. After all, record-keeping was hardly as precise as today's Instagram breakdowns of mock no-filter beauty routines. We chuckle softly at the thought of ancient beauty vloggers guiding a rapt audience through the delicate art of applying rouge with delicate bird bones, like a surreal collaboration between history and Get Ready With Me videos. Leaving these boudoirs of beauty curiosity, you wander through the corridors and find yourself marveling at another realm of medieval allure, the mystical finesse of fashion. Garments then weren't just stitched cloth. They were heralds of storytelling, complete with the kind of layers and details that make today's high fashion seem almost minimalist. Silhouettes were dramatic, from trailing gowns that swept across floorboards like whispers, to sleeves so voluminous they could house a small library of court gossip. It's like seeing someone gracefully parade in a sweeping designer creation down a cobblestone runway, carrying the day's social commentary under one billowing sleeve. The clothing choices of the Middle Ages were more than just fabric. They were symbols of status, wealth, and sometimes aspirations, much like how today's sneaker collection might be calibrated to drip with street cred. This meant bold choices were more than just fashion statements. They were historical declarations. Picture this: sumptuous colors woven into fabric from dyes procured through exotic trade routes, garments that shamelessly flaunted wealth and connections with the persuasive politics of appearance, and an allure of mystery as invitingly peppered as a favorite fairy tale swapped at bedtime. Here's a peculiar nugget. Sumptuary laws dictated not only the colors one could wear, but also the textures threaded into the very fabric of society. Nobles and commoners were separated by more than just social rank. Plain or prejudice, your cloak marked you with its very hue. Imagine this as a daily medieval Snapchat filter, with garments serving as stamps of regulated fashion expression. Historians still vet the extent of enforcement of these laws. The haziness of such controls, pulling shadows, like trying to remember if you actually folded that laundry or just willed it into coherence by sheer mental thought. The debates still swirl within academic circles, questioning whether these laws served as the early underpinnings of fashion branding, or if they were more so attempts to harmonize society under a visibly categorized guise. It's amusing, as today we try to decode the symbolism plastered across music videos, the ancient world spinning its own web of influence through threads and needlepoints. You lay these ideas aside, gently swaying back into the more inviting folds of present-day coziness. It's one of those sweet, silent gigs of history, draping you with insights and imaginations. As you pull the blanket snug around you, you find yourself charmed by the threads linking past and present, a whimsical loop of beauty secrets and societal masks. The shadows from the medieval nights spiraling into peaceful slumber, like a storybook's pages softly turning as you find comfort in the past that quietly mirrors our own. In this slow dance of hours slipping by, you gaze around your room, the glow of fairy lights bathing everything in an ethereal light. You see yourself, cradled by history and the gentle hum of tonight's tale. The beauty standards of yore, wrapped in their own twisting tales, offer you a curious comfort as you let the quiet embrace you. With each exhaled breath, let the curiosity and cadence of this medieval story lull you gently back to rest. Through your dreamy meander, these reflections on medieval beauty begin to blur into a cozy, timeless haze. Much like gazing out a window to watch raindrops trace delicate patterns against the glass. You've wound through the corridors of another era, explored the fickle fashions and curious cosmetics that can both mystify and mesmerize. You find a soft amusement in how society's obsession with beauty seems as eternal as the stars blinking against a night sky. A fleeting joke shared across centuries. As you nestle deeper into this ambiance, you hover on the precipice of another enchanting corner. The role of storytelling itself in shaping perceptions of beauty. Medieval times were rich with epics and legends, where characters were cast not just by fate, but also by the flick of the storyteller's quill. The songs of troubadours and the woven words of bards brought to life heroine and hero alike, outfits fluttering, complexions glowing, all in a tapestry of imagination. It's a bit like a marathon streaming session of a medieval season on Netflix, just way more live action and slightly less CGI. These stories spread ideals of beauty, as much as they told tales of adventure and valor. Figures from these narratives became icons, and people looked to them as benchmarks of beauty and valor. Historians still argue whether these narratives shaped the standards or were merely reflections of them. The age-old chicken and egg question, set to the backdrop of lute-strummed ballads. Imagine the gazes of those entranced by these oral traditions, the flicker of firelight casting animated shadows as tales spun tales. It's the same kind of magic that today's infomercials try to harness, albeit with a slightly different backdrop. You picture a medieval character brought to life, perhaps a gallant knight or a virtuous maiden, becoming as prominent in their society's psyche as current pop icons saturating our everyday discourse. A side note worth a chuckle. Medieval authors didn't shy away from a creative flourish. If you thought that celebrity marriage was brief, consider the whirlwind loves and losses chronicled across days rather than years, spun with the same fervor you feel when saving a series of Snapchat stories to savor like fine wine. Let's amble further along these looming stone corridors where inky quills wrote sagas of rustic charm, beauty, and beyond. Here's a fun fact. Medieval poetry lavished attention on every detail of a beloved's visage, sometimes creating an idealized beauty that was meant to transgress the bounds of possibility. You weren't only wooing your beloved, but you were also weaving an aspirational narrative capable of captivating everyone else. Much like captioning the perfect selfie to subtly showcase more than just your best side. Turning back into the embrace of the architecture around you, you realize each stone seems to hold echoes of whispered courtships and subtle glances shared across chamber tables. The tales of Tata, the romances of the ordinary. This was the medieval hype reel, chronicling not just kingdoms, but everyday lives in exquisite, exaggerated detail. As our time journeying through this medieval gallery comes to a gentle close, you find yourself marveling at how history, full of its idiosyncrasies, leans so nostalgically into our present, coated in the warm glow of fairy tales. Let these stories steep within you, not as lectures framed in glass museum cases, but as ongoing dialogues we continue to shape today. Settle back deeper into your cushiony cocoon now, the gentle hum of modern life blending seamlessly with echoes from the past. Beautiful complexities, from an adoration of high foreheads to dashing garments, twirl around your consciousness like a soft melody, lulling you toward a serene night. Night's whispers echo gently around you, inviting a peaceful pause as this dreamy reverie fades delicately, like the softest brush of fingertips against one another as sleep draws near. As the gentle rhythms of our medieval journey settle around you, like a favorite tune just softly replaying in the background, you wander back to where the heart of beauty lay hidden, within the essence of medieval self-expression, a world where appearances painted more than a mere picture. Your mind drifts to how these centuries-old standards still echo faint reminders amidst our own quest for identity and self-presentation. It's a delicate dance, familiar yet foreign, drawing you between time-worn tapestries of shared humanity. Pause here for a moment, on the cusp of the medieval mindset, where beauty wasn't simply a reflection of cultural aesthetics, but also a mirror for social dialogue, kind of like the conversations captured in arrayed hashtags or a viral tweet that humorously pokes at shared anxieties and aspirations. You drift through this realization, seeing how the art of crafting personas today, with selfies and curated feeds, seemed an evolution of pale cheeks and poised portraits once upon these stone ramparts. Whisk yourself briefly through the sensory landscape. You can almost feel the texture of the courtyard leaves rustling as time imperfectly layers its stories, much like elemental scrolls, intertwining narratives of nature, beauty, and the human spirit. Each tale adds a new dimension, much like patches sewn onto a favorite well-worn quilt, covering the chilled nights with layers of warmth and intrigue. As you step through into perhaps the most enduring chamber of beauty, its kaleidoscope of perspectives, you uncover how these deeply rooted notions influence not just individual identity, but also community narratives. It feels like unwrapping a treasured letterbox filled with postcards, collected whispers from generations past, and within each word or facial expression preserved, a glimpse of their dreams, challenges, and aspirations surfaces, still sparkling despite the dust of time. Historians continue their dance, considering whether medieval beauty standards were volatile affairs or if they offered continuity, a balm amidst an otherwise turbulent era. This open question remains as enticingly alive as debating which new app feature might evolve into the next cornerstone of digital hyperconnectivity. Oh, and here's a snippet worth a grin. Some beauty rituals evolved more whimsically than the plot twists in a reality TV reunion. Medieval individuals would sometimes employ jars of rainwater to achieve lustrous hair. Imagine setting up medieval atmospheric playlists for such dedicated beauty sessions. It's their version of hoping your nifty new gadget might help you skip morning routines. Unless the clouds, ironically enough, decided to test their patience first. Now, cocooned into your safe little corner of modernity, let these musings drift like gentle notes of an ancient lullaby, clasped softly in the night's embrace. Inhale, the tender waft of candlelit evenings where beauty whispered secrets through time and space, captured forever in faint echoes of today. Exhale, as you appreciate how these murmurs translate into comforting warmth now, soothing worries as textures of stories envelop you like a soft hug. You tuck away these intimate recollections, letting their mellow tones carry you gently towards sleep, where time converges warmly into a space bordered not by grand tapestries, but by intimate moments frozen in shared light. A sentiment that ensures beauty's perception continues to transcend centuries, finding its own resonance even now, beneath wispy moonlit dreams, whispering their calm good nights. In the soft cradle of night, you find yourself cushioned by the seamless blend of whispers from both the past and present. These narratives have enriched your senses and wrapped you in their timeless embrace, like a cozy sweater on a breezy evening stroll. You reflect on the ways beauty standards have shaped and reshaped themselves, weaving through the fabric of society, much like an artist perfecting their craft over centuries. It's incredible how these age-old ideals still resonate within our digital age, a testament to their tenacity and universal allure. A gentle smile plays on your lips as you visualize the transformation from medieval castles and cobblestone streets to our modern skyscrapers and virtual landscapes. Even now, we seek to define and redefine what it means to be beautiful, to craft and recraft our personas, much like the artisans of old did with their tapestries and sculptures. It's as though each of us holds a tiny piece of this historical puzzle, adding our own unique shade to the ever-changing portrait of human allure. As you think about this, you're reminded of the parallels between medieval marketplaces and today's bustling digital feeds. Just as townsfolk once gathered to swap news, share goods, and marvel at the latest fashion, so do we congregate in virtual spaces, eager to engage and explore. Though the mediums have changed, the desire to see, be seen, and understand others remains undiminished, like a constant heartbeat echoing through the corridors of time. Let your mind wander to the textures and sounds of yesteryear's bustling markets, the clinking of coins, the joyful chatter, the rainbow splash of fabric stalls lined with colors as rich as a painter's palette. Picture the glint of ambition in the eyes of those medieval merchants, akin to modern entrepreneurs, launching startups from cafe tables, sketching visions on napkins and laptops alike. In this gentle night reverie, you ponder historians' ongoing debates, whether the notion of beauty served simply as a backdrop to larger societal structures, or if it was a driving force behind social dynamics. Were the lavish displays merely a reflection of individual vanity or a broader commentary on ideals and identity? Much like our current discussions regarding the influence of media, the answers seem to hover just beyond reach, teasing like a half-remembered dream. Now, gently, a tender thought blossoms in your mind, one of serene acceptance and connection. You see traces of yourself within this rich history, the same way you recognize your own reflection against a rain-spattered window. Beauty, it seems, is not just about appearance, but about the stories and secrets we carry, the connections we foster, and the ways we choose to express ourselves in a world that is constantly shifting. Savor this feeling, a warm tether to those who came before us, as if you're sharing a cozy fireside chat with medieval figures that feel surprisingly familiar. The stories, the styles, the secrets, from plucked hairlines to drawn-in brows, they all lead back to us, here and now. As the evening wraps you in its comforting lull, take a deep, clear breath and let go of any lingering thoughts or worries as softly as dandelion fluff on a breeze. Allow yourself to be lulled into the serene rhythm of slumber, the gentle hum of night blending seamlessly with the echoes of the past, carrying you to restful, peaceful dreams as timeless as the tales we've woven together tonight. Sleep well, knowing that beauty, in all its forms and guises, cradles you gently, linking the threads of yesteryear with tomorrow's dawn. In the stillness of night, where time seems to stretch and compress all at once, you find yourself swaddled in the gentle remnants of our journey through medieval beauty's rich tapestry. The tales we've explored drift through your thoughts like softly falling snowflakes, each one unique and glistening with its own delicate intrigue. It's fascinating how these narratives, spun from the threads of history, have wound themselves into the fabric of our modern existence, much like stars scattered across an endless sky. You close your eyes and let the quiet murmur of your surroundings fade into the background, as if you're listening to the faintest echoes of a long-forgotten lullaby. The allure of these stories lies not just in their content, but in their timeless nature, the ways they remind us that even in the vast expanse of history, the quest for beauty and self-expression remains a constant, a refrain repeated through generations, much like the nostalgic hum of an old favorite song. Picture yourself strolling through vibrant scenes of past eras, from the bustling marketplaces and grand feasts to the quiet alcoves where dreams and aspirations were as carefully curated as the garments that adorned their wearers. It feels a bit like watching a parade of life's rich tapestry in slow motion, each step deliberate, each glance meaningful. The vivid colors, the peal of laughter, the whisper of silk against stone, it all blends into a serene, cinematic tapestry painted lovingly in your mind. The night air resonates with a gentle sigh as you realize that despite the centuries that have come and gone, the essence of what it means to be beautiful, to be seen, appreciated, and understood remains unchanged. It's like the fuse on a well-loved string of fairy lights, each bulb sparkling uniquely yet part of a grander, illuminating whole. Embrace this understanding as it wraps around you, warm and comforting, like the perfect hug you didn't know you needed. As you reflect on these enduring legacies, you conjure up the image of those who walked these cobblestones before you. Perhaps they too pondered their place within the tapestry of life, seeking connections and meaning not so different from our own quests today. Their desires, etched into the annals of history, remind you that beauty's resonance is a dialogue between past and present. A brief reflection flickers through your mind, how the stories of these storied eras mirror our own lives, full of ambition, love, and the relentless pursuit of something more, something deeper. Even as these tales are softly fading into slumber, their essence remains a gentle promise that beauty, much like history itself, is an ever-evolving story that we continue to write together. Feel the soothing embrace of sleep beckoning you now, inviting you to let go and drift peacefully into dreams woven from the gentle threads of yesteryear. As you exhale all the day's gentle remnants, imagine each breath mingling with the soft sigh of wind through castle towers, enveloping you in an atmosphere as serene as a whisper. This night holds you tenderly, a custodian of calming silence and timeless tales, escorting you gently into a world of dreams where beauty, in all its quiet splendor, awaits to guide you into its tranquil embrace. As this journey concludes, let the tranquility of the medieval echoes cradle you with the subtle promise of peaceful dreams woven through the tapestry of night, beckoning you softly to dream anew. In this serene twilight, where the borders between waking and dreaming blur like watercolor across a page, you feel the stories of medieval beauty cradle you with a soft, rhythmic persistence. The night is a gentle guardian, holding you in its quiet arms as the remnants of our narrative softly settle like mist upon your thoughts. It hardly matters whether you've drifted off entirely or if you're hovering just above slumber's threshold. The comfort of these centuries-old tales lingers like a sweet, distant melody, one that invites you to lose yourself in its timeless embrace. You find yourself imagining the graceful constellation of ancient faces, dissolving and reshaping in your mind like clouds at twilight. You can almost see the people from those distant times, a lady adjusting her elaborate headdress, a young man observing his reflection in the still surface of a sunlit pond, searching for his own place within the beauty standards of his world. These moments from the past whisper to you gently across the ages, forming a tender bridge from their world to yours. With each fading thought, you realize how these ancient ideals of beauty, while rooted in bygone eras, have mapped a path to the present, like an ancestral tree whose roots reach down into the heart of the earth while its branches stretch toward the stars. History entwines with modernity, creating a seamless, gentle conversation between what was and what now is. For as much as the ways we define beauty have evolved, the quest for understanding and connection remains a noble pursuit that transcends time. As your mind traces these threads, it's as if the stars themselves have woven you into their gentle constellations, their glow reminiscent of the warm fairy lights that quietly illuminate your own cozy corner of the world. The stories shared tonight are like stardust, tiny, twinkling echoes that enrich your dreams and remind you of your place in this vast, interconnected tapestry. In this gentle reverie, let the night embrace you fully, carrying you softly into dreams as hushed as a lullaby, wrapped in the silken strands of timeless beauty. Feel the weight of the day's cares lift, drifting away like feathers on the breeze. Allow the warmth of contentment to enfold you, lulling you into restful slumber upon the wings of whispered history. As this serene story unfurls its final chapter and night's soothing cascade envelopes you, breathe deeply and let yourself go, fully, completely, into a gentle, peaceful sleep, where dreams are touched by moonlight and painted in the soothing hues of centuries past. Rest now, knowing you're cradled by the tender echoes of history, ever so softly guiding you into a gentle and restorative slumber, a cosmic embrace that holds you until the morning light whispers its quiet, tender greeting. As the final tendrils of our storytelling night weave seamlessly into the tranquil fabric of sleep, you find yourself gently floating between dreams rich with echoes of medieval beauty and waking moments softened by the night. The world around you has quieted, leaving only the gentle hum of your surroundings, a familiar lullaby that carries you toward rest. The stories we've shared flutter delicately in your thoughts, like pages of a beloved book, their characters and images now interwoven into your own tapestry of recollections. You find comfort in the seamless transition between the enchantment of history and the peacefulness of the present. It's a reminder that beauty stories, with all their quirks and charms, knit themselves into the continuity of life, echoing softly through every whispered breeze and the quiet rustle of your blanket as you shift into a cozier position. Imagine yourself now in a serene place where time feels both infinite and tenderly brief, like the moments just before dawn, when the world holds its breath in the gentle embrace of transition. In this space, the tales and truths from our medieval exploration become a gentle part of your own story, settling within you like soft reflections on still water. Each ripple, a dreamscape that soothes and reassures you with the enduring spirit of beauty, balanced perfectly between what was and what remains. As you lie there, the night wraps you in a soothing cocoon. Feel the embrace of your soft bedding, the gentle chill in the air, perfectly offset by the warm cocoon you've nestled into. Each breath you take and release becomes a soft rhythm, guiding you deeper into a peaceful, all-embracing slumber where dreams persist in the calm. Let go of any lingering threads of consciousness and thoughts, free to wander and find solace within this twilight sanctuary. The tales of love and beauty that danced across our narrative have become quiet companions that guard you throughout the night, whispering tales of distant lands and timeless elegance that will accompany you as you rest. As your breathing slows and deepens, allow yourself the peace and stillness of true rest, drifting effortlessly into the night's quiet embrace. Let these soothing moments cradle you gently as sleep comes tenderly, a hushed guardian drawing you into dreams both wondrous and serene. Here, beneath the starlit vault of sleep, you are safe, surrounded by the gentle whispers of the past and the promises of tomorrow's dawn. Drift away now, cherishing the tranquility that this evening of stories has painted upon your heart, cradling you in its timeless, tender embrace. In the serene depth of night, everything around you is wrapped in a peaceful quiet. The room still, except for the soft rhythm of your breathing. The stories of medieval beauty we've woven together slip into the background, their gentle echoes lulling you deeper into rest. These tales, woven with the threads of time, now become part of the delicate tapestry of your dreams, creating a sanctuary of relaxation and warmth. In this gentle cocoon, you surrender to the soft hush of night, letting it soothe any remaining edges of wakefulness. Each breath you take is a gentle tide, pulling you further away from the shore of yesterday and into the calm sea of dreams. Allow your mind to drift without direction, letting these stories, symbols, and histories cradle you like a gentle breeze, carrying whispers of what was, painting them upon faint canvases of possibilities yet to come. As you drift further, imagine the embrace of ancient melodies softly wrapping you, their tender notes binding seamlessly with the night's quiet symphony, a comforting lullaby echoing through the corridors of your mind. These soft, celestial tunes remind you that, throughout history, beauty has danced gracefully through time, its essence as enduring as the stars sprinkled across the night sky. Nestled in this serene embrace, feel the soft warmth of your blankets, like the tender brushes of a beloved dream as it guards your slumber, safeguarding you in the tender lull of night. You softly slip into dreams, as soothing as twilight whispers that tickle the air, balancing between silence and the sweet singing of a distant past that promises gentle adventure. Peacefully, let your thoughts unravel and weave anew, undisturbed by the call of the waking world. Allow your consciousness to retreat into this comforting space where dreams bloom like nocturnal flowers, each petal unfurling with stories of eras gone by. Here, history softly whispers its tales, reminding you of the shared thread that links you to the past and the quiet wonders that await you. Drift softly now, each breath carrying you deeper into the hidden gardens of rest, where your journeys through ages echo calmly with the steady rhythm of night. Let the soothing embrace of sleep hold you delicately, whispering promises of renewal and repose, until the first light of dawn touches softly upon a new day, wrapping you in its gentle embrace and heralding new stories yet to be discovered. Sleep deep and peacefully, wrapped in history's lullaby, in dreams tender and serene. In this exquisite cocoon of midnight tranquility, you find yourself gently enveloped by the lull of dreams that have gracefully mingled with our tales of medieval beauty. The room remains an oasis of calm, filled only with the rhythmic rise and fall of your breath, each one deeper and more peaceful than the last. These stories, infused with echoes of times long past, have nestled themselves into your consciousness, paving a path of restful slumber along which you wander, exploring the tender whispers of history. The night folds you tenderly into its embrace, as if it were an old, familiar friend, guiding you gently away from the noise of the day. Your thoughts, like softly floating autumn leaves, come to rest upon the tranquil waters of your mind. The world outside your cocoon is quiet, the air thick with the comforting softness of drowsy stillness, mirroring the gentle glow of stars above, a universe swathed in peaceful shadows. Imagine the timeless dance of beauty across ages, its rhythms as constant as the pull of the moon upon the tides. In this serenity, let yourself drift, cradled by the knowledge that beauty, in all its forms, transcends the confines of time and place, weaving a golden thread through the fabric of existence. This understanding grants you a sense of belonging, nestling you into the continuity of human experience, stretching back to those medieval days and beyond. As you sink deeper into this restful abyss, the night air whispers softly against your skin, a gentle reminder of the passage of time turned kind and serene. You feel the pulse of history thrum softly throughout your dreams, like a personal lullaby meant just for you, urging you to relax and let go. Each gentle note of this lullaby is a promise of joy and peace, wrapping around you, inviting you to give in to the blissful surrender of restful sleep. Inhale the gentle reminders of stories told. Exhale the worries that never came to pass. These picturesque dreams are your invited guests, ready to share in your journey to the quiet edges of awareness, where dreams meet the dawn. Here in the sanctuary of night's embrace, let yourself unravel gently, entrusting the night to hold your dreams aloft upon its peaceful tide. When dawn's earliest light begins to feather the horizon, it brings with it the softest whisper of new beginnings, gently drawing you from slumber toward a fresh day. But for now, you remain cocooned within the soothing shadows of night, where stories linger in the softness of silences shared. Sleep well, embraced by the timelessness of history's gentle sigh, an endless lullaby meant to cradle you until morning light sings the start of today's new melody. The quiet tranquility of the night continues to envelop you, its gentle embrace stretching endlessly as you drift even deeper into rest. The stories of medieval beauty, like a soft, comforting breeze, weave through your dreams, creating a tapestry of serene images and tender echoes from the past. These tales have settled in with you, wrapping around your thoughts like a cozy quilt stitched with the threads of history. In this tender space, each breath you take is a whisper, a gentle invitation to release the day's remnants and sink further into the embrace of sleep. You feel a profound connection to the stories we've shared, as if they've become a part of the very air you breathe. A reminder that beauty's essence endures, timeless and unwavering, across the tapestry of time. Imagine the world around you, both past and present, blending seamlessly in this twilight state. You can see the fleeting, shadowy outlines of ancient figures, their lives no longer confined to parchment or stone, but alive and vivid within your dreams. They are guardians of the stories, these echoes of the past, keeping the tales alive as they float gently on the surface of your consciousness, rocking you into slumber. In this restful ebb and flow, let yourself be carried along this gentle stream of thoughts, as peaceful and rhythmic as the tides themselves. The whispers of medieval narratives create ripples across your dreams, not as a disturbance, but as a soft reminder of the enduring connection we all share with those who came before. Allow yourself to be lulled by these tender echoes, your mind at ease with the weightless drift of timeless stories. You are embraced by the continuity of human experience, a quiet reminder of how each of us is a part of a larger whole, weaving our dreams and tales into the ever-growing tapestry of life. Feel the care and warmth of the night surrounding you, its peace wrapping around you like a loved one's comforting hug. The room, lit only by the dim glow of distant stars, is a haven of calm and tranquility, your body relaxed and mind at rest. The journey through ages past has come full circle, bringing you to the serene recognition of how each moment, past, present, and future, intertwines to become part of the grand story of existence. As dawn slowly approaches, it brings along the promise of new beginnings and untold stories waiting to be shared. But for now, let yourself rest within this gentle cocoon of night. where you are cradled by dreams, tender and serene. A lullaby of history soothing you into the peaceful embrace of sleep until morning light draws you slightly from this poetic reverie. Here, in the cocoon of night, your dreams weave softly between the past and the present, caressing you with whispers of ancient tales and timeless beauty. The stories we've explored gently cradle your thoughts, inviting you to delve deeper into the gentle embrace of slumber. Each breath you take pulls you further into this warm sanctuary, the night's delicate lullaby guiding you with its soothing rhythm. In this serene space, the boundaries of time and place dissolve, creating a gentle blend of history and imagination. You find yourself gently floating alongside figures from the past, faces illuminated by the golden glow of moonlight, eyes twinkling with the secrets of ages, each one an echo, a reminder of the enduring spirit that connects us all, reaching out across the centuries like a gentle hand. You feel the quiet strength of these whispered stories as they wrap around you, much like the comforting embrace of a favorite flannel blanket. The tales of medieval beauty we've explored tonight, with their charming quirks and enduring allure, have settled into your consciousness, offering a soothing reminder of the shared journey all humans undertake in their quest for identity and connection. Imagine yourself walking through a dreamscape of softly lit medieval halls, where time itself seems to stand still. The air is filled with a hushed reverence, a tangible echo of the whispered stories that have traversed these ancient corridors. You feel their presence alongside you, a comforting fellowship weaving through the tapestry of your dreams. As you drift further into this tranquil slumber, let these stories rock you gently, like the ebb and flow of a calm tide upon the shore. You're part of a grand, ongoing narrative that extends beyond the confines of any single era, a beautiful fusion of past, present, and future, all unfolding in perfect harmony. Outside your blanket cocoon, the world remains at peace, its gentle night song lulling everything to a standstill. Feel the softness and warmth of your resting place, a perfect cocoon where the past embraces you like a familiar friend. The medieval tales have quietly become part of your own story, a cherished chapter filled with the gentle beauty that stretches across time. The first blush of dawn edges tenderly along the horizon, promising a new day on the cusp of waking. But for now, you remain swathed in the tender warmth of night, where dreams and history blend into a poetic lullaby. Rest comfortably, knowing this gentle solace wraps you in the whispers of time, cradling you softly until the light of morning greets you with new hope and stories yet to be told. Sleep peacefully, deep in the embrace of this timeless slumber, until gentle dreams slowly unfurl into the light of a brand new day. As you continue to drift deeper into the arms of night, the world feels like a serene portrait, painted in the most soothing shades of blues and grays. The tapestry of medieval beauty we've woven together tonight evolves into a gentle background for your dreams, as soft and reassuring as the touch of a feather-light breeze. These tales, rich with history and humanity, gently cradle you with their melodic rhythm, a comforting resonance that feels both familiar and timeless. Your thoughts wander freely, venturing into endless realms where past and present harmoniously intertwine. You envision a bustling medieval market, vibrant with color and life, where laughter mingles with the soft music of distant lutes. The lively chatter of townsfolk echoes in your mind, a symphony of voices that carry the stories of our shared journey, each cadence a testament to enduring beauty. In this peaceful space, you find yourself embraced by the warmth of the communal stories, echoes of lives lived with grace and curiosity, rich narratives that have etched themselves like gentle imprints upon the pages of history. The delicate weave of time forms a softly glowing mosaic under your closed eyes, where each piece is perfectly aligned, casting a brilliant array of dreams bathed in moonlit nostalgia. Feel as though you are meandering through a quiet moonlit forest, where every step leads you closer to the heart of a serene, dreamlike sanctuary. The paths of this mystical woodland are lined with threads of old tales and luminous visions, inviting you to explore the mysteries held within. This gentle sea of tranquility whispers sweet nothings as it beckons you forward, allowing yourself to be lost in its tender embrace. Allow your mind to ease its grip on the worries of the day, to breathe in this elixir of calm, and exhale a delicate cloud of dreams. Each inhalation brings you further into alignment with the soothing rhythm of the universe, guiding you deeper into slumber, where the echoes of the past beckon you to join their gentle waltz through the landscape of night. The world outside murmurs in tender rest as the horizon begins to glow with the promise of morning's first light. But for now, stay nestled in the soft cocoon of night, content in the gentle embrace of history's lullaby. Let these timeless stories cradle you with whispers of shared human experience, guiding you tenderly until the first blush of dawn invites you into a day anew. Sleep, comforted by the knowledge that beauty's timeless dance across ages continues to whisper its gentle secrets to those willing to listen. Wrapped in the tender embrace of night, dream of the stories that connect us, waiting patiently for the dawn to unfold another chapter, fresh and yet to be fulfilled. Rest well in this peaceful cocoon, and let your dreams carry you softly until the gentle light of morning awakens new possibilities in the tapestry of your own life.